Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, today we are going to do rest of the lesson Bholi. आज तक हमें इसमें से पढ़ा था कि जब बोली क्लास में गई तो how did she react, what a school was like, she had never seen a classroom or she had never been to any school so far. लेकिन जब वो स्कूल में जाती है what happens actually, she finds a different atmosphere there in the school, in the classroom. And so, as she enters in the classroom, and the lady teacher who is teaching the students, the girl students in the classroom, Boli could not make out of anything out of this, teaching. She is looking at the wall. She is looking at the pictures on the wall. Suddenly teacher tries to drag her attention towards her. She said to Boli, what she says to Boli, what's your name? Boli, as we know, she was a kind of a stammerer. She could not stammer, she could not speak out her name, but she tried to say it. She said to this level, Bo was the final word. As she was saying like this, tears start rolling, from her eyes. While these all things happen there, as Boli is trying to get acclimatized to that, climate, I must say, or she's trying to adopt that classroom atmosphere. What happens? This was a time when the rest of the girls were laughing at her because she was a stammerer and she couldn't speak her name well, and rest of the girl students, they start laughing at her. And meantime, bell rang. All the girls screamed out, means ran out from the class, rushed out, flowed out from the classroom. But Boli dared not to leave her corner. She couldn't leave her corner, she couldn't leave her place. Her head still lowered, she kept on sobbing. She was still, sobbing, she was, sighing, lambi lambi ahem bar rahi thi, because it was a kind of strange experience for her. Boli, the teacher's voice was so soft and soothing. In all her life, she had never been called like that. But on the other hand, teacher was so friendly, so sober, so loving and caring that Boli had never heard words like these. It touched her heart. This treatment touched her heart. Get up, said teacher. It was not a command. As the teacher said to her, get up, the teacher asked her to get up, but it was not a command. It was just a friendly suggestion. Boli got up. Now tell me your name. Now Boli was asked what her name was. Sweat broke out over her whole body. This was a time sweat was breaking out over her body. Would her stammering tongue again disgrace her? She is thinking there is an intrigue going on. There is a thought going on in her mind that if she would say something like her name, again she would stammer and she wouldn't speak it correctly. She wouldn't speak it to its full. So, again she is thinking about her disgrace and the laughter around her that students created. For the sake of this kind woman, however, she decided to make an effort. She had such a soothing voice that she would not laugh at her. She is actually estimating that the teacher's side and how she's thinking that the teacher is so friendly. If I'd say something like that, she would not laugh at her. Be who bo, she began to stammer. Now again she is not speaking her name with correct pronunciation, she is not speaking it with full, so she is trying, but at the end, well done teacher, encourage. The teacher's job is to encourage a student, and so the teacher encouraged this child by saying you have done well done, you can say things. The teacher patted her affectionately. Patting means to give a kind of जिसको हम शाबाशी कहते हैं, PATT, pat, pat करना, शाबाशी देना. So I'll send these words into PDF file, so don't worry for that. Put the fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everyone. The teacher is trying to encourage her, saying that put this fear, whatever fear you have, or whatever fear has occupied your mind, just throw it out, inshallah, or by God willing, you'll, be able to speak things correctly, and you'll be like every other child in the classroom. Bholi looked up as if to ask, really. Bholi, for this, to show the reaction of this, word, Bholi is looking up means asking for some, affirmation and confirmation. Is that really going to happen? That I'll be like other children? Yes, it will be very easy. You just come to school every day. Teachers again saying, come regularly, be punctual to the school. You'll be able to do all these things. No, say it aloud. Be who knowed it means Boli is trying to know is that I'll just make it my routine to come school every day. I'll be very punctual. She says it in a nod. Nod means to give a physical gesture of yes. See? Say it loud. Now Boli is asked again. Say it loud. Yeah, yes. Now she says yes. And Boli herself was astonished that she had been able to say the word yes when she completed the full word yes. She was herself astonished. She was herself wonderstruck how I have been able to say the word in its full. Don't I tell you, now take this book. Now she's reaffirming her that I have already told you be able to do all these things, but now this is the time to take the book before you and just see the words that I'm teaching you. The book was full of nice colored pictures. The book was full with culture, pictures, and these pictures were of dog, cat, goat, horse, parrot, tiger, cow, just like Lakshmi, and all these animals that were around Boli, that Boli had actually seen in her life. All these pictures of the birds were on the the book. In the time you will be more learned than anyone else in the village. This is again she's saying to her that one day will come when you'll be very much learned, even learned than the villagers of your village, and then you'll be a very respectable woman. People will not laugh at you, they will not look you down upon. So all these things happen in the meantime. But teachers again saying her, if you come early and you come early tomorrow morning, so that you don't miss your classes. Boli felt as if suddenly all the bells. Now this is how Boli is feeling. The imaginary world, the imagination of Boli is finding a greater joy. She is thinking that all the bells of the temples are ringing and the universe is turning. Universe has come under her feet, and she's very much rejoiced and exuberant to see these words, because she had never seen and she had never heard, she had never seen such a good treatment to her, and she had never heard such good words before. So thus the years passed. This was time when Boli was growing up. Years have passed, and this village of her has become now a small town, and many things had occurred. Railway station had been installed, and a cinema hall, and then again this primary school was changed, this was upgraded to a girls high school, and everything was now okay. But Boli had come up to the age of her marriage. Maybe the marriage could have been very successful, or it could have been very disaster, but let's see how. Then one night after dinner, Ramlal said to his wife, Ramlal is in puts himself into conversation with his wife. So what happens, actually the he's going to say a secret, or he's going to unload his worries before his wife. So he tells that, then shall I accept Bishambar's proposal? A new character has been introduced. यहाँ पे एक नया character introduce किया गया. इसका नाम है बिशंबर नाथ. बिशंबर नाथ जो है ये एक दुकानदार होता है, और ये दूसरे गांव में रहता होता है और इसके पास थोड़ी प्रॉपर दुकानें होती है, ग्रोसरी दुकान, और इसके पास ज़मीन जायदाद बहुत होती है और उसके पास कुछ पैसे बैंक में भी होते हैं, मे बी गुड अमाउंट ऑफ मनी इन बैंक। सो इसका प्रपोजल आ जाता है, बिशंबर नाथ का प्रपोजल आता है रामलाल के पास। रामलाल से कहा जाता है कि you're being asked for the hand of your daughter बोली। तो बोली के बारे में इसको रिश्ते के लिए ऑफर आता है। तो व्हाट हैपन्स, लेकिन ये ही वॉज कन्फ्यूज्ड, बिशंबर नाथ जो था, he was a kind of a greedy man, but Ramlal is trying to convince his wife that this proposal would be a disaster, क्योंकि ये जो बिशंबर नाथ है ये बड़ा ग्रीडी टाइप ऑफ मैन है, इसके पास पहले से ही शादीशुदा है, ये इसके बड़े बड़े बच्चे हैं, इवन ऑफ द एज ऑफ अबाउट द एज ऑफ बोली। तो ये मैचिंग नहीं हो सकती, इट कैन बी अ डिज़ास्ट्रस मैरिज। लेकिन इसकी वाइफ यानी रामलाल की बीवी से कहती है कि दिस इज़ अ वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी, वी मस्ट अवेल इट। वाई? बिकॉज बोली इज़ नॉट गोइंग टू गेट मैरिड। एंड दूसरी चीज़ ये होती है कि एज डजंट मैटर, इफ मैन turns 50 and a woman is 25, still there is not a big difference, because man must be above the age of a woman. So ये भी एक confusion है। At last Ramlal is convinced that he should go for the marriage preparations for Bholi, but Bholi was not taken into consideration. Bholi was not taken into Bholi was not taken into Bholi's consent was not asked. So Bholi was listening. On the other hand, Bholi was listening on the court. She was listening all this, but she could do nothing to save the honor of her parents. She is sacrificing herself. She has been sacrificing for a lot. Then one day, what happened? Bishambar Nath, who was a well-to-do grocer, he came with a big party of friends and relations with him for wedding. A brass band playing a popular tune from an Indian firm headed the procession. Then, with splendor, he had never dreamt that his fourth daughter, I mean Ramlal, was overjoyed to see such a pomp and splendor. He had never dreamt that his fourth daughter would have such a grand wedding. Bholi's elder sisters who had come for the occasion were enemies of her luck. बोली की बाकी जो बहनें बड़ी बहनें थी, उनको भी थोड़ी सी जलन हो गई थी, क्योंकि इस तरह की शादियां उनके साथ नहीं हुई थी, उनकी शादियां इस धूमधाम से नहीं हो गई थी। तो दिस वाज अ काइंड ऑफ their jealousy got precipitated over here. जब ये मुकद्दस मौका आता है, the auspicious moment came, the priest said, bring the bride. पंडित जी ने अब दुल्हन को बुलाया। तो बोली clad in a red silicon, बोली को एक red silk वाले कपड़े में, she was laden in that, she was covered, was to the bride's place near, उसको रखा गया मंडप पे। तो what happened? Garland, the bride, one of his friends prompted बिशंबर नाथ। बिशंबर नाथ ने से कहा गया उसके दोस्तों की तरफ से कि अब दुल्हन को माला पहनाई जाए। The bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigolds. A woman slipped back the silicon veil from the bride's face. Bishamber took a quick glance at the garland. The man paused in his hand. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. This is an important scene over here. This mismarrying, this something happened over here. The bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigolds. अब उसने वो marigolds की माला उठाई. A woman slipped back the silicon veil. बीच में से silk veil में से कोई एक औरत नजर आ रही है उसको. From the bride's face, जो bride जो दुल्हन का चेहरा लेके आई थी. Bride Bishambar took a quick glance. बिशंबर ने जल्दी से तिरछी नजर मारी. The garland remained poised. और उसके हाथ अक्के बक्के रह गए. Poised means जहाँ कोई चीज़ रहती है वो वही रह जाना, मतलब बंद सी हो जाना चीज़ें, तो poised कहते हैं इसको. In his hand, तो उसकी माला उसके हाथ में ही रह गई. द ब्राइड स्लोली pulled डाउन द वेल. इसी दुल्हन ने अपने ऊपर फिर से वो पर्दा डाल दिया. देन Have you seen her? said Bishambar to the friend next to him. बिशंबर ने कहा अपने दोस्त से, तुमने देखा है दुल्हन कौन है, ये कैसी है? She has poke marks on her face. इसके चेहरे पे चीचक के निशान है. इसके चेहरे पे तो निशान है, तो इसका चेहरा तो बदसूरत दिख रहा है. So what, you are not a young either. तो इसका दोस्त उसका, आप भी भाई अभी जवान नहीं हो, तो फिर क्या होता है अगर इसके चेहरे पे दाग धब्बे हैं और आप भी कोई सलमान खान नहीं हो. ठीक. What happened then? Ramlal went and placed his अच्छा. Maybe, but if I am to marry her, her father must give me 5,000. Now, Bishambar Nath, he was a greedy person. He just demanded 5,000 rupees so that he would, put the garland in her, neck. That's to approve the marriage. In other words, to approve the marriage, he had to put the garland into her neck. But before that, he demanded some 5,000 rupees. So 5,000 rupees were, it was a kind of humiliation for Ramlal, because rest of the people were there, and he thought if he put his turban under the feet of Bishambar Nath, not to humiliate him like this, but Bishambar Nath was not convinced. He actually forced him to do that. At the end, a deal was signed that he would be given 5,000 rupees. As Bishambar Nath heard that he was going to get 5,000 rupees, he put the garland. He tried to put the garland in the neck of the bride, but something great happened there. 10 out of 5,000. Tears streaming down his face, Ramlal went in open and face safe and counted the 5,000 rupees, placed the bundle at the bride's feet. On Bishambar's greedy face appeared a triumphant smile. He had gambled and won. Give me garland unannounced. Once again, the veil was slipped back from the bride's face, but this time her eyes were not downcast. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband, and in her eyes there were neither anger nor hate, only contempt. एक बार फिर से उसके चेहरे से वो पर्दा सरक गया, लेकिन इस बार उसकी आंखें झुकी हुई नहीं थी. वो शर्मा नहीं रही थी, but she was with complete confidence, and she had something greater will to defy this situation. And what happened in this, what she did, she actually was looking with the contempt. She was not looking with the shame, but she was looking with the, she was not looking for mercy, but she was looking with the contempt at this this time at Bishambar Nath. Okay. Bishambar raised the garland to place it round the neck, but before he could do so, Bholi's hand struck out like a streak of lightning, and the garland was flung into the fire. She got up and threw away veil. अब इसने चेहरे से अपना पर्दा उठा लिया और कहा. Now she was ready to take the skirmish with this person, to tell him to his face that you are not a fit man for marriage. You are a merciless creature. You are a beast. You are a pitiless man. So she said to her father. Pitaji said Bholi in a clear, loud voice, and her father, mother, sister, brother, relations, neighbors were startled to hear her speak without even the slightest stammer. सारे के सारे हक्के बके रह गए कि इसको रिश्तेदार, आंटीज, अंकल्स और ये सारे लोग हक्के बके रह गए कि बोली ऐसे कैसे बोल सकते हैं इतनी क्लियर साउंड में, जो कि स्टैमर हो रही थी. नाउ शी इज़ नॉट स्टैमरिंग, शी इज सेइंग एवरीथिंग इन क्लियर वॉइस. with comfort, confidence. So ये रामलाल के लिए एक इट वाज थंडर शिवा ही वाज थंडर स्ट्रक उस पर कोई आफत सी गिर पड़ी ठीक. Then what happened? Boli, are you crazy? She said what happened in the time. She was not going to marry this greedy person like, you know, Bishambar now. But this time, this was a kind of, you know, lightning. He was thunderstruck. Ramlal was thunderstruck because he was concerned with his care, he was concerned with the fam, he was concerned with the name, he was concerned with the respect and honor, all these things. He was not concerned with the life and comfort of his child. See? Boli, are you crazy? Shouted Ramlal. You want to disgrace your family? Have some regard for our izzat. For the sake of your izzat, Boli, I was willing to marry this lamb or donkey. अब कह रही है बोली कि मैं तो आपकी इज्जत के लिए सारी सब कुछ कर रही थी, मैं तो इस लंगड़े बंदर के साथ, इस लंगड़े गधे के साथ शादी करने जा रही थी, इसलिए क्या मेरी फैमिली की इज्जत बच जाए, लेकिन अब ऐसा नहीं होगा. Have some regard for our izzat. So, but if I will not have such a mean, greedy and contemptible cow as my husband, I will not have. She denies, she categorically says, no, she will not have now, this man as her husband. What a shameless girl. We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow. All of their relatives and, friends and other people, they were guests, they were thinking how shameless she is. We were thinking she was a dumb cow, she couldn't speak things, but this time she is saying something with complete confidence and in a hyper temper. So Bishambarna, the grouse, started to look back with the party. The confused bandsman thought this was the end of the ceremony and struck a closing tune. The party and जो बाराती थे और बाकी जो बैंड बाजा वाले, उनको लगा था अब निकलना है, तो उन लोगों ने वापसी का टून बजाना शुरू कर दिया, farewell tune बजाना शुरू कर दिया. Ramlal stood rooted to the ground, his head bowed low with the weight of grief and shame. Ramlal की इज्जत की ऐसी की तैसी होनी शुरू हो गई. He is thinking on that parameters. The flames of the sacred fire slowly down. अब वो जो अग्नि की आग थी वो अब धीरे धीरे बुझ रही थी. रामलाल turned to Boli and said, रामलाल ने बोली से कहा, but what about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you? रामलाल से कहा, आपसे कौन शादी अब करेगा? Who is going to marry you? अब हम आपका क्या करेंगे? He was actually under the cloud of the tension. His mind was taken over by the tension that about for the future of this child. Okay? And Sulika said in a voice, Sulika is actually the name of this child we call Boli. That was calm and steady. Don't you worry, Pitaji. In your old age, I'll serve you. And mother, I will teach in the same school where I learned so much. Isn't that right, ma'am? अब ये बाप से कह रही है कि don't worry, don't take tensions from me, because in your old age I'll be serving you. मैं आपकी खदमत करने जा रही हूँ in your old age, और मैं मेरी माँ की भी खदमत करने जा रही हूँ. आप दोनों की मैं खदमत करने जा रही हूँ आपके ओल्ड एज में. मुझे शादी वादी नहीं करनी, और मैं इसी स्कूल में पढ़ाऊँगी जिस स्कूल में मैंने पढ़ा है. और साइड से मैडम को भी दावत थी, तो लेडी टीचर से कहा गया isn't Boli right? Boli says, isn't that right, ma'am? तो मैम कहती है, बिल्कुल आप ठीक कह रही. The teacher had all long stood in a corner watching the drama. Yes, Boli, of course, she replied, and in her smiling eyes, in her smiling eyes was the light of a deep suspicion that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of a masterpiece. और उस उस्तानी की दिमाग में सारी चीज़ें गुजर रही थी जैसे उसने किसी पत्थर को मूर्त बनाया था, और ये मूर्त और ये मूर्ति उसकी उसका शाहकार बन गई थी, बिल्कुल लाइक अ मास्टरपीस. एंड शी वाज फीलिंग अ काइंड ऑफ heavenly bliss, this time, because she was thinking that she had done something that she was supposed to do. Thank you very much for today. Inshallah, in the next video we'll be doing the exercises and rest of the things.